Hey guys, Blue Delta Wolf here. This is Magic the Gathering 2014 and this is my Mindmaze deck guide. So this will be my favourite deck in the game by far. Really love blue mages. So this is probably going to be the most difficult one for me because this is the one I care about the most. I wanted to get it just right. Now there are so many good cards available. This really was the hardest thing I've had to do on the game so far. But I think I've got myself here a very fast illusion-oriented deck with enough control to keep you going. So I'll run you through what I've chosen and hopefully give you a quick reason of why. So Jace's Phantasm, I know that belongs in a mill deck, but it does cost 1, it's only a 1/1, but there's a chance that they'll have, 10 cards in their graveyard after a couple of turns, and it will be a 5/5. And because it's an illusion, it gets buffed by all the illusion buffing cards, so I kept it in there. Phantasmal Bear, a great 2/2 for 1. Now these cards that say when it becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it, that's both bad and good. Okay, it's bad because all they've got to do is target it with anything and it's disappeared, but it also means they can't mind control it, they can't tap it or anything like that, because anything that controls it, it just goes. So it's both good and bad. This Veiled Sentry, I've been playing around with this, it's fucking amazing, I love it. You put it up on the field, try not to put them both up, because the easiest counter for this is the enemy just plays a shit spell. So put one up, if you need to put it up, but leave the other one in your hand, and wait till they get a bit more mana, and then put another one up. It just means either they won't use a big spell while he's up, or what they'll do is, yeah, that's what they'll do. They won't use a big spell while he's up. They'll always have to use smaller spells. So it gives you a bit of breathing room. But if they are stupid enough to use a big spell, he becomes a big defender. So Unsummon, I wanted 4 of these, but I just couldn't quite find the space for it. I needed to take one out, and it was the last card I took out, actually. I love Unsummon. It's so many uses. Phantasmal Image, really great card. You can copy, I mean, basically, it depends what deck you're up against. You can basically make mirror images of their cards. Now you can make mirror images of some of your own cards, but not all. For example, you can't target Phantasmal Bear because it'll just be destroyed. So beware of that. Made that mistake a couple of times actually. So yeah, Phantasmal Image is a fantastic card. You can even use it to copy your defender. See that guy there? If you copy it, it goes on the sidelines and becomes a new one of those. But you can only copy it when it's a creature, not when it's an enchantment. Lord of the Unreal, probably one of the strongest cards in this deck. Illusion creatures, you get 1/1s and have hexproof. That's why I've got all 4 of those guys in there. Crovacan Mist, Blast from the Past. There used to be 4 of these, now there's only 1. But don't forget you can copy it, so it's fine. Gossamer Phantasm, not bad. It costs 2 for a 2/1, but it's flying. So I just put 2 of those in. Ovenize, I love this one. You can block a really high creature and then turn it into a little 0/1 sheep and kill it off. Nice control there. One of the best counters in the game, only costs 2. Phantom Warrior costs 3 for a 2/2 unblockable. Don't only need 1. Now this card, you might think it's weird that I put this in because it's not really that good. But in all honesty, guys, it's one of the nicest artworks I've ever seen. I love blue, I love angels, and that's a blue angel. So what more can I ask for? You guys, obviously, if you don't feel the same way, you can take that card out and put something else in. But I'm going to use this card purely because I like the artwork so much, and it makes me feel like a connection to the deck, if you know what I mean. As sad as that sounds, I like Illusionary Angel. It's quite cheap for a 4/4 flyer, so you just got to cast like an Unsummon, and then you've got a 4/4 for a 4/4, really. So it's not that bad. But I really love the artwork on that. Blind Phantasm, quite a strong 3 for 2/3. Oh, wrong one. Illusionary Servant, 3 for a 3/4 flying. That's really strong. Halcyon Gaze, another one that sits on the sidelines until something happens. Really like this card. So whenever I cast a creature spell, he becomes a 4/4 illusion creature with flying until the end of turn. So it goes back on the sidelines. So I can cast a creature, and I could have both of these up, and then that would be 4/4 and another 4/4 at the same time, just from casting, say, a 1/1. And then they go back, and then they're out of harm's way, unless they get killed on that turn. So, but then they are susceptible to enchantment removal as well, so it has its downfalls. Claustrophobia, I wanted to put 2 of them in, but I swapped one of them for the sheep. Really, really strong card. Same for the counters. I put one of the Dream Fractures and one of the Cancel rather than just two cancels, just to even, just to give it a bit of variety. Frost Breath, tap two creatures that can win games, no problem. Now this card, I like it a lot. It's risky, but it's fun. So after 3 turns, it disappears and makes 2 of itself. After 3 turns, both of those die and make 4 of him. A bit like how gems work, they split. So it can be very, very powerful if the enemy doesn't have any, removal to hand. It can just sit there and do its thing. I really like that card. Plus it's flying, so good. Phantasmal Dragon, 4 for a 5/5, brilliant. Now this is one of the best counters I've ever seen. It's got flash. It does cost 6, but you're going to counter something maybe that costs 8 mana. This will be an 8/8. Actually, it'll be a 9/9. Because X is the spell's converted mana cost. So if you counter, don't use this to counter something low. Use it to counter something high, and you won't regret it. And one of the best cards in the game, Royal Elemental. It's the only non-illusion creature I have, but whenever I put land down, he gets to take one of the enemy onto his side. So that card has won me lots of games. I really, really like it. Now for the cards that didn't make it. Oh, sorry, just quickly. That's 60 cards, 23 creatures, 13 other, 24 land. Now, I was tempted to go down to 23 land, but that's cutting it a bit fine. I mean, I could put one card in. I mean, if I was to look for one right now, I probably could put one of maybe my Unsummon. It only costs 1. Maybe another Claustrophobia or another Cancel. I'll play around with it, guys. It's either going to be 23 land or 24 anyway, but the basics of the deck will stay the same. So the cards that didn't make the cut then. Omniscience. Now that card is just beautiful. Jace is my favourite Planeswalker. It's got a picture of Jace. I love the artwork, but it does cost 10. I don't think I've ever had 10 mana with the Jace deck. It does say you can cast non-land cards from your hand without paying their mana costs, but I don't think I'd ever see it, so it's a shame to say goodbye to that one, but I did in the end. Twin Cast, I like it, I really do, but there aren't enough strong instants or sorceries in this deck for me to warrant putting that in there, so that didn't make the cut. Draining Welk just needed 1. Another nice card that I really wanted to put in, great artwork, it's got Jace's name and a picture. It helps my Jace theme, but I don't know. It's too situational. I mean, you might be unlucky, you might waste 6 mana and might get nothing, so I don't want to risk it. Aether Figment, I do like that card, but I tend to hold it back until I've got the 5 mana or waste an unsummon on it, so I think it would just make my deck a bit quicker to leave it out altogether. Another new card I've never seen before. I wanted to put it in, but I didn't like its effect, so no, I left it out. 1 sheep is enough. 1 Phantom Warrior is enough. Aetherplasm, this is another new card that I haven't seen. When it blocks a creature, you may return it to your hand. If you do, you can put another creature from your hand onto the battlefield, blocking that creature. So you could use it to get a more expensive creature out. It's not bad. I do like it, but 4 for a 1/1, I don't know. I'll consider putting it in the future. These are great. I love artifacts, but this deck isn't an artifact based, so I'm not going to bother with them. There's my other Unsummon. There's my other 2 Phantoms. You've seen all these. Frost Breath, Divination. It's not really a draw deck, so not worried about that. Wishful Thinking, again, too situational. It does mess the enemy up, but I couldn't find a space for it, so it had to leave, I'm afraid. Disorient, I've never used that card, never liked it. And the last one is Leyline Phantom. I really, really, really wanted to put this in. When he deals combat damage, return it to your hand. I mean, it's just like one of those kind of phantoms that attacks you then disappears. I was very, very, very tempted to put this in, and I may do yet. If I take 1 land out and put this in, it may slow my deck down, I'm not sure, but I'll let you know in the future, guys. So that's my Sweet 60 for now. I know it works. It's really, really strong, I promise you. Give it a try. If you don't like it, let me know in the comments section, or if you can give me any advice, maybe I'll take your advice. Leave that in the comments section. Feel free to rate and subscribe as well. It all helps. And I will see you on the next video, guys. Take it easy.